Hello everyone, welcome back to Bunny Between Pages. Grab a snack and let's get into today's video.
Wanna clear a bottle, a cabinet, wanna stay home now.
Today we're gonna be doing my June and July of 2026 wrap-up video. This is the first wrap-up of the channel. Basically, I'm gonna be talking to you guys about every single book I read in these 2 months, and I'm gonna be telling you what my rating was, if I liked it, if I hated it, if I recommend it to you. It's gonna be actually quite exciting. I love watching these types of videos because I always find a recommendation, and that's what we're here for. So get comfy, get excited, because I'm gonna be talking to you guys about the 6 books I read in these past 2 months. First book I read in the month of June is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. This was a 5 out of 5 star book. This is amazing. It's great. I love Brandon Sanderson. Sometime around the beginning of this year or the end of last year, I started reading the entire Cosmere, and I started with Mistborn, and I think that was a great choice I made in my lifetime because it's so worth it. Now, can you read this book without reading all the books that come before it? Yes, you can. Do I recommend it? No. Why? Because I think you need to understand what comes before this in the timeline just so you can know certain Easter eggs that Brandon Sanderson writes in this book. Is it necessary? No, not at all. But also, this book is 1,000-page long, so I think you need to know Brandon Sanderson's write style before you get into this book, just so you can get the best experience out of it. There's something called the Sanderlanche, which is basically that Sanderson writes everything in the last 200 or 100 pages, and it's amazing. That's what makes his books like 5 stars. So I feel like you should understand that before getting into this book, just so you can get into your mind the fact that this is going to be great and you're going to trust in him. And you need at least like 300 pages, I would say, to start understanding the world. So if you have read something by him before, I think that would make your experience with The Way of Kings 1,000 times better. That said, if you've read a lot of fantasies as well, like high fantasies, complex fantasies, I think you could also get into this first. It all depends on what you read, what you like to read, and stuff like that. But in general, this book is 5 out of 5 stars. Now, what is this about? We follow 3 different characters in this book. We have Kaladin, we have Shallan, and we have Dalinar. These 3 have different goals, different storylines, different personalities, but their fates will be tied together by some catastrophe that's gonna happen in the future that could potentially destroy the world they live in. Now, the magic system here is very, very interesting. Basically, there's something called high storms, which is storms, but 1,000 times more powerful, and they get their energy from that. And then certain people get some powers by bonding a spren, and a spren is this echo of certain aspects of nature. It's actually quite incredible. You should read it. Brandon Sanderson is really creative when it comes to magic systems. I don't know how he does it, and it's so complex. There's like different laws, different power sources. It's amazing. I 100% recommend this book and any book in the Cosmere. Also, this series, the Stormlight Archive, is the most important work Brandon Sanderson has ever done or will ever do. He has said that, and this is meant to be a 10-book series, and so far there's 5 books out, but the first 5 books are in this certain timeline, and then the next 5 will happen after a big time gap. I'm pretty sure it's like at least 5 or 10 years. I'm not really sure, don't quote me on that, but you can read these books whenever you want to, knowing that the first part of the story is completed as of now. If you want a Cosmere order, I can definitely do that, so let me know in the comments. Alright, next book I read in the month of June is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I had been wanting to read this book for so long, especially just the author. I've been wanting to read The Inheritance Games also for a long time, and when I got into this book, I was expecting like a light read or something to kind of like relax a little bit after reading the Stormlight Archive. So I picked up this book, and it was actually quite a surprise. I really enjoyed this. It's very easy to read. The text is big, so you can read this in a sitting, and there's a lot of characters There's a lot of drama in this particular book, and it is a good time. I wouldn't say but by any means that this is the greatest book ever, but it is a good time. I gave it 3.5 stars out of 5, and I'm gonna keep reading this series. I'm excited to see what happens next. What this book is about is basically there's teens with certain powers or abilities that makes it easier for them to be more aware of their surroundings. Now, with that in mind, the FBI hires them in this super secret program they have so that they can help them solve some cold cases. This book is interesting. You have two POVs. One is the main character and the other one is someone we don't know that is doing something in the book. So if you want to find that out, you should read this. It's really easy. You read it in a sitting or like 2 or 3 days. It's really easy to read again, and I think it is a great time. I don't think this is for everyone. It is very, very YA, and the writing style is also not that complex. The characters are quite basic, but they're good. Like, you can still enjoy this book even with this in mind. So yeah, if you're looking for a simple YA book, this is a good one. Also, there is a love triangle. So yeah, if you don't like that, maybe like keep that in mind, but it's not that, like, I've read many love triangles before, and this one is actually quite bearable, I would say. It's still a love triangle, and for me that's kind of annoying, but it's a good read. It's a good read. Like, actually get into this. It's fun. Next up, also by Brandon Sanderson, I read the second book in the Stormlight Archive. This is Words of Radiance. I know I said the first book was 5 out of 5 stars, but this, oh my god, this is even better. I would say this is definitely a 6-star read for me. It's really, really good. It's even longer. So I feel like anytime Sanderson writes a longer book, that means I'm gonna like it more. But it's so good. Here we get to know even more characters. We have Adelyn's point of view, we have Zed's point of view, and Ashenade's point of view. It's actually quite interesting. Now we have like the POVs of different types of characters, like different it's different groups. So we have like the enemies POV. That makes the book really interesting. You get to know even more about the world, how things work, how trading works. There's a lot of food in this book, and you can kind of see like what Brandon Sanderson came up with. It's like a full new world, and it's really interesting to read. It's kind of mind-blowing to know that someone can come up with things like this. And we get to know more about the Spren. We get to know more about Lift. Lift is a secondary character in this first part of the series, but on the next books she's gonna be a main character, and I'm actually quite excited. I didn't like her at first, but I'm gonna talk about that later. I can't tell you what this is about because it would be a spoiler. Just know that this book is worth it. It gets even better. I'm in the middle of the third one, and it's, oh my god, it's even better. I really don't know what Brandon Sanderson does. It's magical. He writes the best books ever. Definitely takes a long time. This book is like 1,080 pages long, so a little bit longer than the first one, but still really worth it. So if you're not that scared about reading big books, get into this series. And even if you are, if you like fantasy, I think this is a good bet. Like, you're gonna like this books. I have yet to know a person that generally doesn't like this series, so read it. Now, this next book I read in the month of July, The Murder on the Links by Agatha Christie. This is a 4 out of 5 star read for me. Agatha Christie is my favorite mystery / crime author. She writes the best books. These are so easy to read. They're so fun. I love the characters. I love the story. I love everything. Now, just to give you a little bit more of context, Agatha Christie writes 4 or 5 different detectives, but there's 2 that have many books. One is Hercule Poirot, and the second one is Miss Marple. And this is an Hercule Poirot book. She has many Hercule Poirot books, and this one, following the timeline, is the second book in his story. Do you need to read them in order? No, but there is a story to follow. The only thing you need to know is that you cannot read Curtain, The Last Case of Poirot, because it would spoil everything. So Please don't do that. My goal is to read all of her books. I've read many in Poirot's storyline, and I've read many about Miss Marple, and I actually really like them. I really enjoyed these books. And now this one in particular, this follows the story of Poirot. He gets a letter written by Mr. Renault, in which Mr. Renault is asking for help because he feels like someone is out to get him. So Poirot decides to go and help this man, and once he gets to his villa, he finds out that Mr. Renault is already dead. And that's when the story starts. He needs to investigate like who the murderer is, and you get to see exactly every single step he follows. Like, they give you the clues, and you need to try to like figure out who is responsible for this. And in my case, I did have an idea of who might have been involved, but like I was right to a certain extent. Like, I did not like figure everything out. I have never done that. I don't think I ever will. I don't have the wits. I don't use my gray cells, as Poirot says. So if you like mystery books, if you like crime books, if you like books that you can read in a sitting, this is for you. They are really easy to read. Every single book by her is like around 280 pages to like 300 and up, but it's never more than 400 by any means. So this is really easy to read. Like this one, for example, is 158 pages. So this is really easy to read. It was a 4 out of 5 star read for me. Next up, in the month of July, again by Brandon Sanderson, I read Edge Dancer. Edge Dancer is a little novella set in the middle of Words of Radiance, the second book, and Oathbringer, the third book. So if you're reading this in order, you should read The Way of Kings, Words of Radiance, and then Edge Dancer. These are necessary to read. You cannot read the next books without reading the novellas. And there's only 2. So, and they're a good time. So I definitely recommend doing that. Please do if you want your best experience reading the Stormlight Archive. It's part of the storyline, so please follow it. Edge Dancer talks about Lift, the character I mentioned when I was talking to you guys about Words of Radiance. Now Lift again is a secondary character, and we get to know a lot about her here. In Words of Radiance, I didn't really like her because she was like quite immature for me, and it was kind of annoying. But in this book, I really learned to love her. She is really fun, she is really witty, and she is 13 years old. I think this is something you should know. She's 13 years old, and she's surrounded by characters that are twice her age, 3 times her age, and she still is really witty, and she will do whatever she needs to do to survive. I think it's quite exciting to read, especially because we know that she will be a main character in the future of the Stormlight Archive, so it is a good time. We also get to know more about certain characters that are important in the main timeline that we're following as of now. Also, there is a lot about a character, so I'm not going to spoil anything, but certain character here is from Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. That's why I was saying, like, if you want to get the best experience and understand all the Easter eggs, you might want to read in order, but you don't really have to. It's still a great read. So Edge Dancer was a 4-star read for me. And finally, guys, this might be a spoiler for next week's video. I got certain books from my library. You can see that in this video, which I posted last week. I went through a library and I got 3 books, and I already read one of those, and I'm filming a reading vlog. So if you're interested in that, stay posted. We still have like 3 or 4 days before the month is over, but I generally don't think I'm gonna be done with Oathbringer. We'll see, but as of now, this is the last book I read in this month. This book is None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. This book is 4 out of 5 stars. Honestly, it's more like 3.5 objectively, but it was a good time and I read it really fast, so that made it a 4-star read for me. But None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell follows the story of Josie and Alex. Alex has a podcast and is really, really famous, and these 2 women meet on their 45th birthday in a night out at a restaurant, and they find out that they're birthday twins. So after that, they start talking to each other, and Alex and Josie start filming this podcast, and that's when things start to come out and things turn really dark and weird. So that's basically what the story talks about. There are a lot of things that make this book pretty dark, so definitely check the trigger warnings before getting into this book. As a mystery, this does its job. It's really easy to read. I actually like the structure of this book a lot. We see like the main timeline, like the present time, and then there is certain excerpts of the Netflix documentary and the podcast, and you kind of like figure out what happened a little bit as you keep reading. It makes you eager to keep reading so you can figure out what the truth was and what truly happened. And at the end of this book, I'm not gonna say anything, but there is certain like things that you need to discover for yourself, and that leaves you thinking like, oh, what did I just read? Like, who's lying, who's like telling the truth, you know what I'm saying? So this is really interesting. It reminded me a lot of Verity by Colleen Hoover. Not that these books have anything to do with each other, or like they're not even similar, but this did remind me of that book. I'm not gonna explain why, but yes, it is a good time if you want to read something fast. If you want a good palate cleanser, this is a good one. Also, if you want to get out of a reading slump, I think this could be a really great option. So yes, and that would be it for today's video. Oh my gosh, these books are heavy. Let me know if you have read any of these books. Let me know if you're interested. Hopefully some of these books got your attention and you can add them to your TBR. I had a pretty good couple months of reading. They were good books, none of them that I did not like. Thank you guys for staying till the end of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and activate the notifications so YouTube can let you know whenever I post a new video, which is once every week. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. If you want to follow me on my other social media, I'm gonna be leaving here and on the description my other accounts, so you would be helping me a lot if you check that out. Again, thank you guys for staying till the end, and I'll see you guys soon with more bookish content in the next video. Bye!